Tuesday, January 9th, 2024, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So we're going to look at the war on gold, and it continues, of course, and it's coming from a lot of sides. And yes, for example, yesterday we saw gold and silver get hit hard, but Bitcoin and cryptos go up substantially. Some of you think I haven't looked into Bitcoin and that I don't know anything about Bitcoin and cryptos, but I do. I looked at Bitcoin first around 2011, and I thought it was a good thing, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it's a psyop. And you might not agree with me, and I might get a lot of hate, but that's the way I see it. Bitcoin is not digital gold. There's no such thing as digital gold. There's only one kind of gold. Just like COMEX futures or ETFs are not gold. As long as you don't hold it, it's not gold. The same thing goes for silver. Litecoin is not silver. So that's what we're going to look at today. And before we get into the war on gold, and I'm going to recommend a book as well about the topic, just wanted to let you know that recently I did an interview with Jesse Day of Commodity Culture YouTube channel, and we spoke about the topic of the price manipulation, the price control of precious metals and gold in particular. And I'm going to be publishing that interview on my channel very soon. And if you want to listen to it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that little notification bell to be notified of all my new videos, and in particular this interview. So let's start with the FT. Mainstream media, mainstream financial media, 100% behind the central banks. And I've spoken about this many times before. And a lot of the existing viewers and subscribers are probably tired of this. But I think it's more important than ever. And especially to the new viewers, they probably haven't heard of this. And this is the editorial that I saw back in 2004 when I was still working in the financial sector here in London. And I was taking the train very early on in the morning to go to work. And I used to buy the FT. We didn't really have apps back then. You couldn't read the newspaper on your smartphone. I think at the time I had a BlackBerry. There were no iPhones. So it was a long time ago, almost 20 years ago, April 2004. And I like to turn to the editorial page for some reason to see what they're thinking at the FT. And I saw this, going gold. And I was interested because I'd started buying gold a couple of years before in 2002. And once you buy gold, it's so special to hold that Kruger Rand or that Double Eagle or that Gold Eagle or that Sovereign, that it kind of mesmerizes you and it makes you look into the topic. And I found out, of course, that gold historically is very important. And you might ask, well, you should have known that. You know, you went to university, you did economics. Well, but they don't teach you about gold at university. I remember one of my the only economics class they mentioned gold was just to say that Nixon closed the gold window, and that was it. It took a few seconds and the topic was dropped. But yeah, so this editorial said, going gold, the pointlessness of holding bullion continues to sink in. And you get the same kind of comments now from the crypto Bitcoin crowd that gold bugs, people who believe in sound money, are anachronistic, that they're backward. And you got the same thing from the FT 20 years ago. And I even wrote here the date of the editorial, April 16th, 2004. And I wrote the price, $400.65. So how wrong could the FT have been, right? And I knew back then this was one of the first examples of fake news. And it wasn't called like, fake news at the time, but I knew that it was a psyop by the FT. And that's why I didn't stop stacking, and that's why I didn't sell my gold, and that's why I cut it off, laminated it at work, and kept it for posterity. So that was my first encounter with the war on gold. Of course, the price manipulation, I could see it every day, being someone who followed markets every day since the late 80s. I knew there's something wrong, but for that, again, watch my upcoming interview with Jesse Day. So that's the first one. And now I'm going to recommend a book that I bought recently, and I probably should have bought before, way before, but it's by Anthony C. Sutton, who's written a lot of good books about how Wall Street has been and the City of London have been involved in a lot of the shenanigans in the last 100 years, in particular to do with wars, Bolshevik revolutions, and so on. And he wrote this book, The War on Gold, and I highly recommend it as well. It's an old one. It's from the 70s, but a lot of it still applies today. Gold is timeless, and it's generational wealth. And the way this PSYOP is working right now is to get young people, or get people in general, lured into easy profits, easy gains. It's a little bit like the Mississippi bubble in France, or the South Sea bubble in 1720 in England. Even Isaac Newton lost a fortune in that bubble. So a lot of people, unfortunately, are going to be ensnared into this Bitcoin crypto bubble, and a lot of people are going to get hurt. But you're not going to get hurt holding gold or silver, because have you ever seen someone begging on the street with a lot of gold? No. Gold is a sign of wealth if you're able to accumulate it. And they don't want you to do that, because as it was said once, I think it was Norman Franz, or I forgot his name, he said that gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of gentlemen, paper money is the money of slaves, and barter actually is the money of peasants. I'd rather stick to gold, silver, and barter. And yes, this war on gold, all it does is discourage a lot of people, or not just from accumulating real money and protecting their savings, but it also puts people off accumulating more gold, and it even makes some people give up and actually sell their gold, or exchange their gold for fiat and their silver. And I think they're going to regret that. But one thing this war does is that it teaches you, in my opinion, the power of patience, the lesson that you can't get rich quickly. Yes, there are people who succeed in it if you win the lottery or you get very lucky. But most people, the lesson here is that discipline, hard work, perseverance, that's what builds long-term wealth. Not a quick buck, not highly leveraged speculation. That's very risky. And all this price control and suppression in the short term does is help you accumulate even more gold and silver. And if I could go back to 2002, 4, 6, and 8, when the manipulation was was around as well, it's been around for many, many decades. I would have, if I knew then what I know now, I would have accumulated even more. And yeah, it's like I should have bought a lot more sovereigns when it was trading at 50 pounds. And I did buy some just over 50 pounds, but I wish I'd bought a lot more. And that's going to be the same thing in 5-10 years time. A lot of people are going to say, oh, I wish I'd bought sovereigns at 400 pounds when it will be trading at maybe 1,000 or 1,500 pounds a sovereign, which is a quarter of an ounce. So there you go. That's the war on gold. We're now, before we look at the markets, I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to look at some of important headlines, in my opinion. First one is to do with the UK economy. And I've been saying that the UK economy is not in good shape, even though we're told by mainstream economists that the UK is doing really well because the PMI was stronger. But lo and behold, we've got a story in the FT saying weak consumer confidence holds back UK retail spending in December. I mean, December is a month that should see a lot of retail spending because it's Christmas. But according to the BRC, British Retail Consortium, findings in festive period cast a shadow over more promising recent economic data. So there you go. The other one is to do with taxation here in the UK. They want to tax people who are selling stuff on eBay, stuff that they bought secondhand or selling secondhand, stuff that they already paid VAT on to buy. They're thinking of taxing you. They want eBay to inform on you. And now the FT has got someone saying that we have to start thinking about how to tax AI. So that's just a symptom of a rotten, collapsing fiat system where the state is running out of money and is desperate for funds. And the other one is more to do with geopolitics, and I think it's quite important seeing what's been going on in the last couple of years vis-a-vis Ukraine, Israel, and this is to do with Taiwan. Taiwan presidential candidate accuses China of election interference, so I think we need to keep an eye on this election. The election in Taiwan is on Saturday. And then we've got news also out of the Middle East. FT reporting senior Hezbollah and Hamas figures killed as fears grow of regional war. Israel's foreign minister appears to confirm responsibility for deaths. So, yes, things could heat up. We got a lot of stuff going on, not just domestically with elections, but also geopolitically. So there you go. With that, let's quickly look at where the markets are this morning. It's 8:45 a.m. London time. So we've got spot gold at $2,034. It's up $6. High's been 38 and the low 2027. Silver is up 6 cents at 23.15. The high's been 39 and the low 23.05. The Dow futures is down 116 points. NASDAQ is down 58, and the S&P future index futures down 13. To the currencies, the pound's down about 1/8%, 127.33. The euro is unchanged, 109.40. Dollars down slightly versus the yen at 144.05. The dollar is up slightly versus the Swiss franc, trading just below 85. And the dollar is unchanged versus the yuan at 716.80. Aussie dollar, that's down just over 1/4%, trading at 67 exactly. The dollar is up 1/8 versus the Canadian dollar, 133.64. And the Kiwi dollar is unchanged at 62.45. Quick look through the commodities. WTI crude is up just under 1% at 71.50. Brent as well, up about 1% at 76.77. And platinum, that's up a couple of bucks, trading around 950. And high grade copper is virtually unchanged at 381.50. To the bond market, the 10-year yield is up 4 basis points at 4.05. The 2-year is up 4 basis points as well at 4.38. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye.